All right, let's see if you can design something like this. Actually, this is a tabletop calendar, and by the time we are done designing it, you should be having something like this at the printer. This is a mock-up of how that is intended to be. In other words, you will design it such that it will be printed, and then it will be placed on a tabletop. But how do you get started with the design? Let me close here. We have one picture there, which is this picture, and we have it here. So I want to just copy this picture straight into the file, and right away we are proceeding. All right, for a tabletop calendar, the size I prefer for it is going to be A5 size, A5. And being that this one is a landscape orientation, so I'm going to put it on landscape orientation. And the next thing we want to do is to map out our layout. So double clicking on with the rectangle tool is going to place the tool just around the page corners. Now, whether that one is active, I can still double click on it again to get another one, or just duplicate from here and make sure that, okay, I'm creating that placeholder for this picture that is going to be in the background. It is very simple. I want to make it very fast. Now I'll bring the picture to that zone, send it to the back so that I can see, then and now power clip it into the background. You know, power clip now is going to effects menu, power clip, place inside container. For me, I've already programmed a shortcut for it there. Okay, and just move it a little to make sure that it looks like what I am seeing here. I want it to look like what I'm seeing here. Okay, there's a little more cap on that there. Even more, wait a minute. Okay, it's just up around that small point there. All right. So I want to undo the outline on that from that section. So we've gotten that point. The next thing is to we have this bottom part now. I'm talking about this side for the calendar itself. The next thing, I'm going to just draw this other section of it, this small line for the address or contacts, whatever it is. Design is design, okay. Whatever I've decided to place in that space. Now, see the challenge I'm facing. I am trying to get this color, but I do not know the color that this is. Let me assume if I open this flyout, the color fly out there. Look at this one. Is it this one? Okay, something similar to this. Could it be this? That looks similar, right? But what I'm trying to do now is to pick a color. So I pick my eyedropper tool and tap on this color here. It could show me R181, G213, and B234. Tapping on it, after tapping on it, and I'll go to click on my shape, it should be able to just give me that same color. And because what we are doing now is more like a mock-up, we are not printing reality, but it's still the same thing. I'm just leaving it to be like this now. So that has provided that background for that other right up there. So let me pick this other, double clicking on the rectangle to places it around the page border for me, so that if I move this one and now and put it inside remember that my power clip now is no longer put to the center. I have programmed it to just maintain the position. So place inside container. So that place has been maintained for me. This other side is for trimming and for other things you might want to do when you do after cutting. Okay. And because it is something that requires printing, it will be necessary for me to mark out areas for for cutting or trimming. I should be able to leave at least 5 inches. So I want to switch my measurement units to inches. At least 5 inches. What did I click? I want to click this one. Sorry, 0.5 inches. That's 5 inches. 0.5 inches. That's okay. Half inch. By the corners, bottom left alignment, that is B and L, just so that it will align well there. Now I brought my kite over it. Now take it to the top side. While holding it, I press select on the other one. R, that is right, top, T. Okay, to be aligned to T and right, so it's top and right. Okay, I also bring my kite by clicking on the rulers here and dropping it here. Then I now delete the box. The essence of this is that whatever I'm doing as drawing or text should not cross this border. In my own estimation, I want it to land around that point. This one is in footer, so okay, maybe it's permitted. I can allow myself to just, but basically, any serious thing should not really cross that border, so that after trimming, I should be able to have something reasonable to work with. Okay, there should be a margin at the edge of it. Okay, it shouldn't just, the text should not come and touch almost the edge of the paper. That's not the way to design professionally. Okay, so I'm removing the outlines there. I also have to send this other shape inside, but before then, let me quickly make this box. Okay, don't mind the date you see here. This was a calendar work I did some years ago. So that's just that. I'm making this other box here for the months and the calendar to float as in header for the calendar. So which is the major work, the major point there. So I now color that one red. I might want to fit it into this by, in that case for me, there are two ways around it. Either I'm going to trim or fit to what we call a power clip it inside this other box. Whichever way, let me do the trimming parts, or what we call the intersection. So I want to intersect it, and now delete this other part. Okay, the intersection is there. So bring it to the top. Look at the intersection there. I hope it's correct, yes. So now highlight with this other B, bias button, and C for center. That is the space I'm going to use to type my month. And for me now, I'm going to be typing December. Okay, that's the month I want to use here, and the color that I'm seeing is yellow. Take note, I'm no longer defining colors. You know what these things mean. I'm just my primary purpose here is to show you how to design a calendar, or how to get calendar encoded, or to work with calendar on your CorelDRAW designs. So I believe that by now you know what it means to type text, you know what it means to move text or position it and all that. The next thing I'm going to look at is this just things, but I think they all rely a lot more on the calendar. So let me just type, maybe for instance in this concept here, this picture here is a picture of fuel car station. Okay, that is assuming you want to give it a name like that for the design you are giving. Fuel gas station. Chikina. Simple way, easy way. And then they give the location NIP plus 6 Sapele. Okay. For those of you that are from, if you are in Warri, you should know this place. Okay. But that's not the problem. That's not what our focus is. NIPP plus 6 Sapele. Okay. I want to center the text. Okay. Now also center with this other one. So I've gotten the write-up for it now. The next thing I want to do is to go ahead and generate my calendar. After generating, I can now come and do the arrangement here. Okay. So because I do not want the calendar to come and scatter or disorganize my whatever. So I want to save this, and I'll call it lesson 3. Okay, that's lesson 3. Consider the December is well spaced, but technically I'm not doing anything to show you how to cut it down or not. I want to show you how to generate calendar, for how to do calendar. So you have to type this now, and assuming it's up to 12 pages, for instance, now this is only 1 month. Called in this design here was it was September. So you have to do January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December. Like in the case of 2023 now, assuming you want to do graphics by around Christmas time, you can see me putting December there, because it's always the time that people are designing calendar for the new year. And you want to design calendar whether for yourself, for your customer, maybe you want to give it as gift souvenirs to your customers. Just come in here, go to Tools menu. All right. Then you I hope I'm not forgetting what I'm supposed to get there. Macros. run macro. I want to do that again so that I catch it well. Tools, macros, run macro. Now when you get to this point, you now select the kind of macro you want to run here. Calendar wizard. Calendar wizard. You might want to put the description of that. I'm not interested in all that. Then now say run. And now ask me, do you want to place a calendar inside a currently selected rectangle? In fact, I want to cancel this. I also want to move these things away from the page. I want the calendar to just be independent. I can now know how I'm going to place it. But for us, we are learning multi-dimensional kind of learning. So just be there with me. Tools, macros, run macro, and I select my macro, calendar wizard. All right, run. You see that because I've not selected any square and it's not in the page, you can see that it's clear. The option just gave me straight way to begin to generate calendar. So I don't necessarily have to sit down and be typing the text one by one. January, be looking for which month, which day started the month of December, January, February, and all of that. CorelDRAW has all of that already in place for you to just work with. Now, when I click on it, CorelDRAW also assumes the page size I'm using and shows me how my calendar will appear like if I want it. So if this is sufficient for me, if this is the kind of calendar I wanted to get, I go ahead and do that. But if not, I can play around other options. Let me say select all first of all. Taking January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August till. Now the calendar type is English. Week starts on Sunday. Do you want to mark holidays? Beautiful, you can do that. Layout, how is it laid out? This is, I think, one area you have to. We have month slash and 12 small. So you can see the month is slash here, and then you have 2 on top. Like in the case of what we have here, you can see these 2 here, and the month was here at the middle. That's it. That's a layout. I'm taking the next layout. See now, 12 small, and then we also have this one. So the month is here, and then we still have the full calendar. More like you are doing January to December, but in each of the pages there will be the calendar of January, February, March, April, May, June by the side, but tiny for anyone to be easily to be able to easily look through. And likewise, you can shuffle through all the. Let me get through. Like in this case now, you could use this to put picture. You could use this to even make another design and put your calendar by the side. And on this one now, sorry, where is it? On this one now, you can put a design or picture here. Just keep on scrolling. Whatever matches, like all your design can be here. You can even decide to, when you bring it in, you might decide to pull away half of this, while the calendar remains here. Like in this case now, will be like almanac. You use here to do your pictures. You're putting the calendars by the side. I told you about designing of calendar and almanac. Please learn. Everything I promise you, you are getting them delivered to you. You have never been to any kind of school or training program like this before. Okay, take note of that. So if you are doing calendar or almanac, this is what you're going to run. Just scroll through them. Basically, for me, I'm not going to scroll through anything again. Okay, I just want to stop there. I have my own choice. Okay, I'm going to make use of any of these. They will suffice for me. Then again, we also have the arrangements. You can decide to customize your fonts. Okay, decide to customize your header. The header is the bigger things there. The large body, and then we also have the small header. Like in this case now, this is the smaller units. This is the large body. These smaller places now, you can see, okay, so how do you want to customize it? You want the fonts here to be bold. Like this is the fonts, 6 points and all that. How do you want it to be? If you click on these fonts now, you can add the options, maybe bold or not bold or this and that, and all of that, combine it together. Then on the header inside, how do you want it to be? I want it to be bold. I think that's my own interest here. And as you're looking at the preview, it's showing you here. Now, border. Is there going to be border above? I say no. Is there going to be border beneath? I say no. What and that? Right? I say no. Left? I say no. Then on this other side too, you might want to just customize things. See, play around with all of these to your own taste. As a matter of fact, as a student, it is your duty to maybe do the first one, do the second one, highlight Sundays. You don't want to highlight Sundays, you leave it there. And the font for the highlight is this. And how do you want the style to be? One letter, or it should be multiple, or the full word, bottom left, top left, and all that. You select the arrangement. This is for the small header anyway. Can as well as see the small body. Okay. Might want to remove all these border lines. You see that we have, first of all, from the page layout, we also have from this and that. Why is page layout necessary? Because I selected all the months. Okay, and I'm using 2022 for instance. Any year on earth, there is calendar for it. Whether past, present, or future. Okay. So I'm using 2022 in this instance. Okay, let me say 2023 calendar. Okay. Let's act like if we want to design a new year calendar. Basically, I don't like this layout again because I'm going to do something about this. Okay. Let me use I think this is going to make sense for me. Okay, because everything here is squared. Large body, I'm not interested in it. I'm going to delete it, so I don't really have anything to do with it here. So I am can highlight on this or not, but the small body is good for me and all that. So at the end of the day, under this small body, I want my fonts to also be bold for the Sundays in particular. So you can see it's bold. Small header. The font for the Sunday as well should be bold. Okay. Okay. Title. Everything is bold already. Just play around with it. And you'll be seeing the preview of each section of the work, how it will be like. Okay. So when I'm done now, by this concept I'm choosing, I mean that I'm going to run a 12-page calendar. But in each of the pages, we'll be having all the months lined up by the side. Then the main month you are working on highlighted fully here. Okay. If I should say year, 12 small, everything together here. And it's trying to use my paper size to fit that. If I had changed to a different paper size, it will also give me a different option. You see here, it leaves space for me to put picture, and it's similar to the first one I chose here. So what do I do now? I'll just say generate. Finish generating the calendar. I can say under a few seconds it's done. So I can now remove this place and use it to put my designs, pictures, and anything I want to do in it. But for me, the concept I wanted was this concept. So this one is more like customized, okay? So I'm not interested in any of this, including all of this. What I only want to do is to come and lift the months of maybe January or February or March. In this case, January here, being grouped. If you can as well move all of them out of the page now. Sorry. Move all of them out of the page. Keep by the side here. If you can keep by the side here. Now bring back, where's our drawing? Here, this is our one. This one is picture. I can't edit that one. P, sends it to the center of the page. Now I want to start with the months of January for 2023. Take note, this 2023 calendar. So I want to get off. Oh, sorry about that separation. January. I move it here and I enlarge it to my own taste. To my own taste. I'm the one detecting everything. You see the power of customization. So this is now. I want to ungroup here. So I'll change it and say January. Where did we write year on this one? There was no year. Okay, year is part of this place here. So instead of this Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, I have to use the header that came along with this thing now. So you can even see that if I move this one up here, I delete this background, press delete, I highlight it and press delete, hold control and click on it because these things are grouped already. Okay, but I don't want to remove that one because I want to use it and highlight something. Even if I remove it, it might not bother me, but for now, let me leave it here. So I want to re-enlarge this one again. Okay, just enlarge it and it fits my purpose for me. Possibly delete this other one. Everything is good for me now. Everything is good. Then delete this other one. You see the headings now fall inside that space, and I can now center it with the page, selecting together and say Ctrl C. I might want to move one or two things around to just size up the space I really want. I'm deleting all those backgrounds that came because you can see under here there was a background. I don't need the background because I have my own background I want to import for it. So having done this, and considering that this place is a red background, red color for Sunday will not suffice, will not work. So what do? I can choose to give it a yellow color there, and then these other people can go with white. These people can go with white. The reason I didn't want to, perfect white. The reason I didn't want to just click here and drag over here, because there are objects. If I click here now, we're moving the object. But there's a way you can play around that. If I click this object now and say lock object, even if you click and drag over it, it won't move that particular one that you locked. Okay, these are tips and tricks you have to use. So automatically here we have January of the year. Okay, just put it where, and the calendar is already laid out for me. If you look for February calendar, just go there and pick and all that. Please, one thing that is important is that take note of the sizing so that you use the same size and duplicate all through while you are running the entire month. Okay, all right. I'm just giving you how things get done. Like this comes up of calendar. When you finish January, you enter February. What will change is that you might likely have to change this picture, change the calendar. And in my own case, if this is January, December of the previous year was supposed to show by this side. I didn't bring it into the calendar. Please take note of that. I would have done that, but I didn't bring it in. So I just automatically have to ignore it and act like if I never saw. I'm putting this other one in the place, but you know what I should be looking for. Then February should now be on the right. In other words, if you want to see the previous months, look to the left and right. But I'm assuming that I'm having the previous months here by my side already, and for sake of this thing I'm doing, because I don't know how it's going to be, for sake of impact on the student, it would have been fine for you to just go. It will alter things, please. I don't want to go back to that place, and let us not spend too much of time over something that we can understand easily. Okay, so I'm duplicating one, then duplicating one here. Okay, maybe I'm going to put February this side, and I will put March this side. At least they are closer to each other. So March will be here. Okay, using that square shape. That square shape will help you to size things up. For instance, if I move this one up now and say be as big as this place, okay, I can look at the size that it is 1.14. I want to return back from inches. I don't like the inches thing. Get back to cm so that I can get the precise. Here it is 28.949. So I can easily just come here and just type 28 after selecting it. 28.949. Making sure first of all that this thing is locked, so that the aspect ratio will always jump. As soon as I just type that in, you can see that the size I have here will not exceed the other size. Everything will align perfectly well because I'm using the same size to scale it up. Then I need to, and that is being done. Highlight this and group it. Then center this one first of all, and then this one will have to align to the left and the right respectively. I might want to align them to the bottom, or anyhow to the bottom of this other one too. Whichever that matters to me. In this case, how did we do it? Bottom. Thank you. So let's go to the bottom. B. It's likely there is a shape, okay, beneath it, and I have to remove that shape so that I can flow. There are shapes, okay. So select this one now. Lock this object for me, please, and say bottom. In some instances, you might want to fill the blank spaces or customize one or two things. For instance, you don't want to bottom here for me. You don't want to leave these spaces just blank like that. You want to make dots to show that okay, this one there's nothing there. It's part of the past month. So you make a dot here, a big circle stays here, and represent the past month for you. Okay, and stuff like that. You can see that all these are aligned right. You must have set them there, but even if you didn't set them, you can reset them. But I'm thinking that, I'm assuring you that setting them here will give you much tough time. Use that VBS Virtual Basic application, and it will just set everything up for you. Align your font to the right, or wherever you want it to be aligned. If you want it to be aligned center and all that. So that is it. I'm done with that calendar. I can as well put a dot here to show that there is nothing on this date, but all these are just options you might want to do. Nothing is really compulsory. You could also leave them open. Anyone will know that this calendar, the date of the month started on the 1st. Okay, So that's that on that side. Then I have to also delete this and then be able to align it to the bottom of this. Quickly check. You can see that they all at the same bottom level. That is the beauty of doing it professionally, doing it like you know what you're doing. Okay. What next? Hey, I can see this 09 in the background talking about this was 2019. Okay, so for us it's going to be 2022. So 22 in the background on red color, for instance. Okay, and that red color, I might have to transpire it. That's one way to do it. Put it on transparency, dim it very well into the background up to like 90 something or 90%. That I say 90 or 95%. That it is very faded on the background, very faded, but everything else could be seen. Let me make it 90. Okay, was it 95? 90, so that you can see. Possibly send it to the back of the drawing. So this is January 2022. Okay, that is settled on that this place here. Then here also have its own. In my own case, I made some design here to show October 10th month. You know how to do all these things now. You know how to do them. You know how to do them. So forget about whatever this guy wrote. Maybe you don't want to put that one here. So you draw your own here and do the labeling. Okay, do the labeling. I am only showing you the way. I'm not going to teach you like to repeat all the things that you already know how to do. How to draw shape, how to color it, how to write a text on top of it, and how to call it, label it the way you want to label it. It's not meant for this particular class. You are already a senior to those kind of options, as long as you are in this class by now, because you've already done things like this before. Okay, you can draw all this now. You can type this and you can put this. The one that looks like if maybe you've not done it before is something like this now. I don't know if you've not done it before, but let's just do it quickly. So draw your circle to get the central point. Okay, and then maybe you draw the next layer of the circle, next layer like this. Possibly color it like this. Okay. Okay, I'm going to show you something. You know, for instance, I'm coloring this in white, but I don't want it to be perfect white because of where I am. I can see this one is yours. I want it to just come up a little and leave the white level, but not so deep into red or whatever. So just tap a little by holding control on my keyboard. The more I keep tapping, the more the red keeps adding, like holding control. Back to zero. Please, this color must be the other same color, the other color. So bring my eyedropper tool, tap on this color, and then click on inside here to get the same color. And we are done with that section. So calendar, you know how to do that now. That's not my problem. My problem is the 2020. Just 2022. So in that case, what I did here is to type the 2 and move away the 0. Okay, but since we are working with 2022 now, it might not be so necessary. 2022. You can decide to move enough space here and bring a very big 0 here. Very big 0 to represent your 20. Okay, graphics is creativity. You must always have that in at the back of your mind. It's all about you deciding what you want to do based on maybe the options you have around you. You just do some amazing things. Okay, let me say make it bold, break it. Okay, I want to bring this one up to overlap on this place. So this one is overlapping here, and while this one is being overlapping here, you break this side up to, then you are going up, this one is coming down, this one is lapping on this one, then likewise this one should also be at the bottom of everything. So we now have something like this. Okay, I want to add shadows to it so that you can see the beauty of everything. So bring shadows. Okay, make it 10 points for me. 10 is bigger, but make it 100 opacity. Okay, or 70. Then I come and select this one. I say shadow 2, copy shadow properties and tap on this shadow. Select the next one, shadow tool again, copy properties, tap on any of them that has the same shadow that you want to copy. Copy this, select this one, take the shadow tool, copy properties and tap on the next object. You might want to then after to begin to color these things pure white, and it won't really affect your view of everything because the thing is already perfected there for you. You might even want to put a picture inside this circle. Beauty is just like that. Okay, this one had an outline. In other words, it wasn't just one straight circle. We docked the center and we gave it a contour. These things are not hard, okay? But for sake of maybe you are just getting it for the first time, arrange on group or arrange, break 8 objects apart, okay? Now having broken it apart, I want to combine here 1, 2, 3, 4 and then possibly get a contour of the 4 together by tapping on the outside of it. Then reduce the size of the contour. That's it. Break apart and now send this red one under. Shift. It's correct. There's something in that place. That's shift page down is what I clicked. Okay, now I have to bring back the arrangement of these numbers. You are to be on top. You and your shadow should be on top of this one. Then you and your shadow should come next after it. And you and your shadow too should follow suit. See the way the arrangement is going. You didn't come with your shadow. I want you to go with your shadow. Shift page up and all of that. We are like doing it the way we want it to be. I don't even care about the coloration for now, but I just wanted to show you how calendar is being done, and that is it. You can now bring it and put it inside here if it will suit your purpose. E and C to center well. Let's bring this other one now into the place of now where we wanted to place it here. Alright, so okay, this is 2022. This calendar was supposed to mean for 2023. Okay, whatever that is. What did I put here? Calendar. So you know how to type calendar and you know how to do power clip. How to fit the part calendar. Hey guys, I don't really have to spend much time here. Just get to understand what is this about. Okay, calendar. Then you now go to fit text to parts. Can I ungroup this part? Yes, ungroup it. Okay, so now select these two together and now go to text, fit text to part, and that is done. So the next thing I have to reduce the size of my character is too much. 24 points. I want to reduce it to like 16, 18 points and see. I want to make it 15 points. Say 15, sorry. Okay, that has given me enough of what I wanted there. I might want to tap it off the line a little, just as much as I'm pleased. Now the color that I'm using is the same color I want to use on that text. So first of all, break text apart, or break this contour apart. Okay, so this color should be the same color that gave me here, and maybe I have to remove this other shading here because it wasn't really a concept of what we wanted to do. I was trying to show you how things are being done. So this is even supposed to be 2023. So I'm deleting the shadow that went with that 3 now. I'm possibly giving this other one a different shadow this time around. Click and drag on top of it with the shadow tool. It opens that up. So I have my 2023 and calendar is being typed around or wrapped around it. Then on this other side here is a similar concept. okay, this company is Direct Engineering Limited and the D in it. So you know how to do it. So just type the text and put all this in the way we did to, was it SPDC logo, one of those logos, NDDC logo. So you now type and then put the same color. For me, I'm going to just duplicate this thing and then we move in. Okay, take note, I'm showing you the way. This is no longer an expo. I'm no longer teaching you how to type text or how to write something on top of a place, because you know it already. And by so doing, we are okay. Let me just apply this little shading to this place so that it will give it a similar or an effect very close to what we intend to get. Okay, so that's it. And just send it to the back. Shift. Okay, shift page down. I've gotten that place. Then also duplicate the same thing here and shift page down. Everything went down, so I want to do a little control page up, control page up till it shows a little to the top. Wow. Okay, it's like this one is also very close to the edge there. Oh, wow. Okay, another thing I'm seeing that the background here wasn't removed originally, so I just removed it now. And that side is balanced. Did this guy have anything? No. Okay, all that January was written on top of this place, but for me, I'm leaving it here because you know how it is. And this one is supposed to be March. And the year still remains the same. So guys, you can see how we do the tabletop calendar. When you finish like this, and this is 1 month, you keep on doing, like adding the next page. Okay, you do February, keep on like that, March, April, May, June, July, August. By generally lifting these places, you're going to spend time to do that anyway. It's going to take a little time. Lift all these places. Use the same size and settings you must have used on the other one and place it at the center. Possibly what you have to do, this one is more like giving you an expo into when it takes when you want to design your calendar or your magazine. You copy this page template, get to the next page. Sorry. When you get to the next page, like this, you paste it there. Okay, inside this one now, you can now change. You can see the page 2 has appeared. You can now change the picture here. Let me say, look for another picture and put there. Okay, let me say I'm lifting this other picture and just putting there for for understanding sake. This is the mock-up of the work we are trying to do. So, take the picture and put there, and just call it a name. Change the months. Okay. The year might still remain that 222, but replace this calendar with a new one. Most likely, you might not have to replace the heading again. So all you need to do is separate it. After separating it, you remove this heading part from the selection by holding down Shift and clicking over them. Okay, you remove that part. You now get to bring the next month and place in this place, and you've achieved that calendar concept. Okay. I think that's just it on how to do a tabletop calendar. The same method applies if you are doing an almanac. Okay, how does an almanac look like? An almanac is more like having pictures on it with then with calendar by the side. Okay, you have seen the template we saw when we were trying to run our VBS project. So, in other words, let me say if you are doing an almanac, something like this. Take this away, keep it by the side here like this. Okay, then the next thing is, I don't want to open another document. Okay, just leave this place wherever it is. I'm going, okay, this page 2. Okay, delete this one. Then here, thumb the page to the portrait layout. Then you begin to draw placeholders for your pictures. Maybe say the big picture of the president. The president's picture will be here. Okay, you put his name. Then other members of maybe the senators or other people, if you are doing almanac for the Nigerian Senate, okay, begin to place them according to their ranks on how a lot you'll be instructed on who is who. Okay, who is who in the ministry of those people you are working for, whose picture should come first and whose own should come last. You might want to arrange it like the January, February, March, April, May, June. These are pictures of people basically, but the big account might be occupying a very great space here, and or possibly you put these guys just around. Sometimes it may not necessarily have to be a round placeholder. It could just be square. Inside that square, you bring in pictures and put them by power clips around here. Then under here, you put calendar. Okay, so there is about that creativity. What really matters to me is that you know how to run your tools, macros, and then you run macro, and then you choose calendar wizard, and then you click on run, and let me say no in this instance. Then you now choose. You can see that now the arrangement of the page has also changed because of as soon as we change the page now, it also wants to arrange everything to match whatever we had in plan. So it's your duty then to decide how you're going to go about it. Even some person will take it as it is like this. Just put one picture here. Look for a sea that is calm, water fountain that is flowing, and then just put it here and then put the calendar, and all of a sudden in fact, let me just generate this only as it stands. Generate this. I'm done. So when I'm done with this now, I go and look for a very nice picture. Okay, let's say beautiful okay, let's say waterfall. I look for picture of waterfall. Basically, sorry, I'm going to show us next maybe in subsequent tutorial other places you can get picture. Like there are many websites you can go and get picture of any kind. Just search for your picture of your choice. Look for the waterfall that matches the concept. Oh, I like this one. I like this coloration. So bring it. I'm copying it instead of downloading it. I put it here. Graphics is just that's it's about, if you can think it out. The next thing will now be, do you know what to do? Can you convert your thoughts into reality? So if you can first of all think out what you want to do, and then you have been taught how to convert your thoughts into practical representations like this now, then it's done. You may now decide to do one or two things about these pictures here, and you are done. Even if you are not even doing anything, I would tell you the truth. For those of you that are looking for work, maybe you are looking for something to start out with, you could print this thing as it is for a whole year. Just design it like this, print it on paper, laminate it and put clips, and then begin to market it or give it to your customers as your Christmas gift. You don't even have to wait for the new year. This is your one-page calendar. Everything is concluded. Print it on A4 size of paper, give to your customers, and you are done. That is how to design calendar. So on that note, I call it a day. I will want you to do your practice on your own, and you don't necessarily need this picture. Okay, you don't necessarily need it because it's not relevant. But if you want this template, okay, I'm going to drop this template inside the project resources folder. You go ahead and do the rest of them and send us. Let us see what you have been able to do. Take note, this is one of them. And going to the first page, you see what we did in this place. Okay, you see what we did here. We did this one, and then here we did this one. Thank you so much.